Hey guys, today we'll be showing you a Lightsworn deck profile for May of 2019, and I'm here with the man himself, Chris.
Hello there.
And in the background we have Joseph. Hello. So what are you going to show us in this build?
Alright, so I'm really excited to show this build today. This is my Lightsworn deck. I have been using Lightsworns for 11 years, and this is going to be my deck profile for today's April 2019 ban list, without snow.
You can show because last profile you saw this beautiful Felice playmat.
Yes. So first off, we're going to start with the boss monster from the deck, Judgment Dragon. I decided to play Judgment Dragon because even if many people might not find him relevant today, he is still a really good card. Paying 1,000 life points to destroy everything on the field is insane, and this is not limited to once per turn, so you can do the effect whenever you want. So this is why it's such a good monster. It's a 3k beast stick, so it's always good to have him. So that's 3 of them. And now we're going for the Lightsworns. First, we're going to start with my favorite Lightsworn and my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card of all time, Felice the Lightsworn Archer.
Your woman.
Well, yeah.
That is your woman, man.
Alright, so why is this card my favorite? Not only is it has balanced stats and everything, but her effect of tributing herself to destroy a monster on the field is really insane. And for those who don't know, this is one of the few cards in the game that can force the timing of some monsters. For example, if you use this effect against a monster that says when it's destroyed and sent to the graveyard, this literally negates the effect because her effect is still continuing by milling 3 cards. Thus, the effect of when does not activate. The only thing that is immune to it is the ones that say if. So, it's my favorite card. And for the other Lightsworns, I run 3 Lumina, pretty self-explanatory, revives from the graveyard. 3 copies of Raiden, another Lightsworn, mill 2.
And he's a tuner.
And it's a tuner. 3 copies of Wolf the Lightsworn Beast. Whenever you mill, you always summon him.
The big bread.
And the 1 copy of Minerva Lightsworn Maiden.
Why one copy of her?
Alright, it's a little situational, but if you manage to send her to the graveyard, well, it boosts your deck a little bit by sending that extra card from your deck to the graveyard. And if you have a lot of Lightsworns in the graveyard, you can just normal summon her and add one of your Judgment Dragons. The scenario for that when it happens is rare, but when it happens, it just feels so satisfying. For the non-Lightsworn monsters, I run 2 copies of Honest.
Obviously.
We don't have snow, so we're using this for now. For the hand traps, I run 2 copies of Effect Veiler. This is up to personal preference. I run Effect Veiler because it's really cheap and it's really good. You can use Ghost Ogre, Ash, or whatever you want from the hand traps.
Yeah.
I use Veiler because it's the best budget option in my opinion.
Yeah, and people that are just still going, oh, but I can't afford Ash, or I can't afford. It's already reprinted like how many times, Jose?
Yeah.
Like
Another reason I run Veiler, it's because it's a light type, which brings us to this card right here, Diana the Light Spirit.
What does she do?
All you need to summon her is just banish a light monster from your graveyard in order to special summon her. If she stays alive on your opponent's end phase, you gain 1,000 life points for free. It's just an extra summon for your XCs and your Synchros and everything.
So a free special summon right there.
Another card that I run is Cupid Volley. This is like having a second rating in the deck, except that you mill an extra card. Well, it depends. You declare a number from 1, 2, 3, and depending on the level you declare, that is the amount of cards that you send. And her effect is a cost. So if they negate it with Effect Veiler or anything, the effect of milling still continues. Also, it's a level 1 monster, so it's a good target for 1-for-1.
Yeah,
And
for like link ones or level ones that require that, depending on how you do the effect, right?
And it's a light type, so another target for Diana. Now for the one-offs, I have 1 Eclipse Wyvern, which is a Diana target, 1 Glow Up Bulb, 1 Jet Synchron in case you have Wolf, Felice, or any of the level 1s clogging your hand, Electromagnetic to stop battle phases. This is a weird one, but you'll understand why. This is like a Dandelion, except that is with 1 token, and can only be used once per turn. But having that extra token is really good. It's a level 3 token. Let me show it right here. Spawn one of these guys.
You got tokens. You got the tokens.
I got tokens. You spawn one of these guys. These are the main stats of the token, and they're used for mainly for synchro and link plays. So it's really good to have this one pop out whenever. And the one weird choice, Super Anti-Kaiju War Machine Mecha Thunder King,
Why?
aka King Ghidorah.
Why this guy? Why this guy?
Alright.
Explain why you played this kaiju that we don't see people play.
Alright, so you have two ways to use him. First, if he's in the graveyard, meaning you're gonna send him anytime, in the end phase you can special summon him, which it can give you a 2200 beat stick already on the field. And if you have this in the hand and your opponent uses a kaiju, you can just discard it to the graveyard, revive the monster that got tributed by the kaiju, and you banish the kaiju that your opponent special summoned. So it's a little situational, but the effect of special summoning is the one that I use more often, mainly for link plays and such.
So how much is the count of monsters there?
I lost count.
Let's just say like 30 to let's just say like to 30 right now.
Yes.
Something like that.
For the spells, I run 3 Charge of the Light Brigade. This is your search.
Or we call it Charge of the Fat Brigades.
That's an inside joke these guys have against my deck.
It's an inside joke from us.
3 Solar Recharges, your standard draw power. And for the one-offs, I run 1 Monster Reborn,
Ooh, that lost art.
1 Reigeki,
Back
1
in.
Foolish Burial, and the 1-for-1 for the level 1
That's
targets.
pretty much it for the spells.
This is it for the spells and the deck profile itself. Now we're going for the extra deck. First, let's start off with the XCs. I personally run 2 Minervas. I think 2 Minervas is a balanced number in your extra deck. If you're playing Lightsworns, you can run 3, 2, or 1, but never run Minerva at 0 since this is the card that boosts your deck by a lot.
It's basically like a 50% chance in your deck of usage.
You have draw power built in this card, and you also have a destruction effect if you send Lightsworn monsters. Plus, it fills your graveyard very quickly. I also run 1 Castel in order to get rid of floodgate cards or cards that are causing a little bit issue.
Very pesty?
Yeah, very pesty cards. Another trick I do whenever my deck is almost at the brink of deck out and I have a Judgment Dragon, all I do is I detach a material from Castel and flip the Judgment Dragon face down. That way I don't send cards from my deck to the graveyard.
Interesting tactic.
I run 1 Bagushka. If I know that the situation is dire and I can't do much, I summon him, everything goes to the fence, and everything is
You
negated.
bring out the Russian man.
Yeah, and not only that, in attack mode, he cannot be destroyed or targeted by card effects, meaning that you can use this.
Yeah,
two
but
ways.
mostly everybody uses him for defense position.
But this effect is the one that is used a lot.
Yeah.
Since we are in an link heavy format, I use this still.
Oh, yeah, the number 101.
Number 101 Silent Art Arc, because many of the links today they're always gonna be in attack mode, so no matter what. So this is good. You detach 2 materials and steal their monster, and not only that, it's a 21 beat stick. And if they destroy it, you can just detach the material and the monster is still going on the field.
That's very much for the XCs, right?
That's 5 XCs. Now we're going to the Synchros. We're going to start off with 1 Michael the Arc Lightsworn. Personal preference, I run 1 to make space for other Synchros. So Michael is a really good card because you can recycle all of your Lightsworns and just shuffle them into the deck. That way you do not end up in a deck out. If you have 2 of them, you can have an infinite loop, which is if they destroy 1 Michael, you have the other Michael in the graveyard and you can shuffle it into the extra deck. Only if you run 2. I personally run.
And the great
1.
thing about this, because of Michael, he's a dragon, not a warrior, nothing. He's a dragon, meaning that he's a great target for Blue Eyes or other dragon cards that revive, and you get a free banish because you pay 1,000 life points.
You can also special summon him with Guard Dragons.
Sure.
Another one I run is Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. I run 2 level 7s in my Synchros. So With Jet Synchron and Glow Up Bulb, I can summon him really easily. There is also another card in the links that I will show later on that allows me to go into him much more easier, not just depending on Glow Up or Jet Synchron. But it's a really good card overall. It negates everything, every monster effect, and it basically has a built-in Honest in it. I still use Cyframe Lord Omega. I still think it's a pretty good card for hand disruption. In case your opponent has a key card in their hand and you have that chance of banishing it, then it could cost them the game.
It's being shown in some Dino profiles, sometimes Omega, because they found a way to throw Naturia and Omega at the same time.
I've always run Omega at 1, but back when Fairy Tail Snow was at 3,
You put 3.
I used a little combo with Punishment Dragon, which was I summoned Omega, I banished a card from the hand, Punishment returned the Omega to the extra deck along with the card banished, and then summon him again, banish another card, and then the opponent's turn I use Punishment to return it to the deck.
Okay.
Basically 2 cards banished, but that was back when Snow was on ban.
What else?
I run Black Rose Dragon,
Obviously, she's a bit dark cool.
and I run FA Dawn Dragster as my final.
Yeah, he's
synchro.
like he's basically you take out 2 of his levels and you can negate whatever you want, and it's a once per turn, and it still is a great card overall.
And it's a light type, so another
it's a
target.
light type too.
Yeah, it's a light type and another target
I
for
could assume it was a wind
Diana.
type.
At first, I thought the same thing.
Yeah,
Now,
because a lot of the FAs are like kind of windish.
now for the Link monsters. One, Curious, the Lightsworn Dominion. This is your best Link monster, and you can send any card. It's not limited to just Lightsworns. Any card you want in the graveyard, you send it with him. And if he leaves the field or is destroyed by battle, you can grab any card from your graveyard and return it to your hand. And he's really easy to summon, too, as well. I run 1 Boreal Dragon,
The one Borload.
the 1 Boreal, because
Thunder Dragons.
Thunder Dragons are a thing, Dinosaurs is a thing,
Salamander
and
Greats.
a lot of the decks are, how should I say, have powerful beat sticks, and you want to steal their monster, so that way you
Yeah.
can take advantage of that and also use it against them. The card that I mentioned earlier was this little guy that I'm testing
Yeah,
out.
that came out in Dark Neostorm. What's his name?
Puzzle Mino, the drop and deleter. Why I think this card is good? Its summoning requirement, it's pretty easy to summon 2 monsters with different levels. And when a monster is special summoned to a link arrow that he's pointing at, you can change the level of that monster. So in case you summon, let's say you have a level 7, and then you, by any chance, you special summon a card like Felice, Puzzle Mino can change the level of the card, meaning that I can turn Felice from a level 4 to a level 1, that way making her
into a Link 1.
into
Link
a
1.
Crystal Wing,
Well, Link 1.
or a Link 1 if you run Link Rebo. And then I run only 2 of the Nightmares. I run Cerberus and Phoenix.
A staple. These 2 are staples in extra decks. If you don't see these 2 guys, well, whatever.
I don't run Unicorn because I wanted to make space for everything else.
And it's a
so-
little bit too expensive.
Yeah, I got Unicorn, but I decided not to run
So
it.
do you have a side deck?
Yes, I do. For the side deck, I have 3 Lancias.
For Thunder Dragons?
Thunder Dragons are a thing, and any deck that banishes in general is susceptible to this. 2 Kamangas the Sticky String Kaiju. Why him over Gamesio? He might have 200 more attack, but it relies more on the defense, that it has 2500 in case the opponent negates my attacks or stops me from attacking and they put it on defense. It's gonna have 500 defense less than Gamesio, making it a little bit more vulnerable to my monsters in general. That's why I decided to run Kamangas instead.
What else?
Alright, I also have, for the side deck, there's a lot of floodgates in today's metagame, so I decided to run Trap Eater.
And the floodgates that we always see are just impermanence and evenly matched.
Well, yeah.
And other stuff, because we only see right now Ultra guys being the most heavy floodgate, and now Mystic Mine using that heavy flow of back rows. So
Yeah.
this is great for those 2.
Yeah, and not only that, there are lots of anti-meta decks out there, and they're going to try to use cards like Anti-Spell Fragrance, or any card that just wants to destroy your deck. So, and not only that, Skill Drain is also a problem against this deck. That's why I decided to run Trap Eater, because you can destroy the opponent's trap and then you get a free monster.
And it's a tuner.
It's a tuner level 4, so you can either go for Minerva or you can go for one of your
Synchros
in general. This is a personal one for me. I run 2 Ash Blossoms just in case.
I can hear the comments. I can't order the ashes. They're so expensive.
Now, before you go on your rampage of why you can't afford the Ash, do not worry. Again, this is my personal pick. You can pick whatever you want. If you can't afford the Ash Blossoms, you can always go with Veiler, or you can go with Ghost Ogre, which is a cheaper alternative. Ash Blossom, I have it here in case I need to replace my effect Veilers for something that prevents my opponent from...
Does a lot of search.
Yeah, does a lot of search.
Or special summon from the deck.
That's why I decided to run Ash Blossom in this side deck at 2.
What else?
For the spell cards, I run 2 Galaxy Cyclones for Floodgates as well. And this is I decided to run this over Twin Twister because this has multi-use in Lightsworn. You can activate it from your hand to destroy a set card on the field, and if this is in the graveyard, you can banish it to target one face-up spell trap on the field, meaning it has multi-use. And if I had Twin Twister in my graveyard, I can't do anything with it. However, if I had this in the graveyard, I can use it for something if my opponent activates an anti-spell or a skill drain, which can cripple my deck in an instant.
Not too shabby.
For hand trap heavy decks, I run 2 Call by the Grave.
It's Call by the Grave. Everybody knows what it does. This is just basic, easily to get off the pesky hand traps or, you know, the pesky effects that you don't want to see that they go to the graveyard.
This card, I recommend you have one, at least a playset of this. They're pretty easy to use, so they're pretty easy
but
to
right
find
now they're
as
getting
well.
expensive. They're like at $5 each, the common.
Get them quick, or else they're gonna increase in pricing. At least the common ones. And the only trap card that I run in the side deck itself is none other than Red Reboot. Cards like Metaverse are pretty annoying, and you do not want to see Mystic Mine. And not only that, but there's also a lot of trap cards in today's game. Rivalry of Warlords, Goals and Match, lots of those cards. What this allows you to do, you just pay half your life points to activate it directly from your hand, and then you just set it, and then they can set another one. However,
they can't activate.
They can't activate, meaning that if you also have the 4 Lightsworns and you got a JD in hand, all of that board that they just build up completely shattered.
Just gone.
Just
out of nowhere.
Gone out of nowhere. And that is it for the side deck.
That's it.
That's the whole deck.
So guys, this was the Lightsworn deck profile that we've been trying to do, but we never had the chance because of situations. But Chris here made his this pure Lightsworn deck profile. He even gave you pointers of what can be budgetable for this deck, and he if you see the views, if you see the deck profile, he did the Destiny Hero budget deck, and that thing's going nuts. So anyways, thanks Chris for showing us your Lightsworn deck, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, or whatever you want, and I'll see you guys later. See you, bye.
Bye-bye.